Hello.
Okay. Hey, sister.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Tiff is about to come in.
Okay.
Let me see. There's a thing that says see waiting room.
If you go to participants,
Yeah. I'm on participants. It says 9 waiting, but it's only showed me a couple of them. How can I see the rest so I can admit you? I see Dr. Kirksey. I see you now.
okay. All right.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Why can't I hear?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
All right, I see my stars are here. And so we'll just wait a couple of minutes and for people to sign on. And I apologize for making too many invites. We got more people coming on, but I just know a lot of people run. And so let me put it on Facebook while we're doing this. I know we're gonna have a lot more on Facebook. Sharing group. All right, we are live on Facebook. If I could get my Zoom back so I can see you. There we go. Hey, if I could ask everyone who's on except Dr. Kirksey, Dr. Thomas, and Dr. Wilson to please mute your phones. We'll get started in just maybe another minute here to get started. Got a good crowd here already. All right, I think we'll get started. I'll continue to admit people as they come. All right, welcome everyone to our first Doctors Forum for the OB Fit Mega Ace Challenge Group. I am very, very excited to have 3 people who have been eating up the pavement, and 3 people that I personally know are doing a great job with who they walk with, and also in life as doctors in their areas of expertise. And I'll start with everyone wondering why I didn't go in alphabetical order, because Dr. Kirksey and I kind of talked about this. So this is kind of his baby, which is why I kind of put him up front. So Dr. Otis Kirksey, if you would come on and kind of give us the scope of what you do in your area of expertise, Doc. Dr. Kirksey.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Brian. First of all, let me commend you and Coach for putting together such a phenomenal activity. Not just this Zoom call tonight, but the walk challenge in itself. I mean, it's amazing that we have thousands of people participating in this event. And getting back to your initial request, you know, what my area of specialty is, I'm a pharmacist by training, but I'm board certified in advanced diabetes management, and I'm also a certified diabetes educator. And so I work at one of the local community health centers where I provide diabetes management there, as well as I'm a CDC certified lifestyle coach. So, you know, what we're doing as a group, as a walking group, man, is tremendous, because it really addresses a very key and critical need in the Black community as it relates to healthcare. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kirksey. And next we will come to Dr. Artley. You're up next.
Yes. Can everyone hear me? Because I have on my headphones.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, evening everyone. So excited to be in this forum and to be invited to be in this forum. Like Dr. Kirksey, this challenge is outstanding. It's got people moving who wouldn't be moving, and it also has people who are moving to move a little bit more. I myself consider myself one who remains relatively active. However, with COVID, that kind of threw me off of my normal workout schedule. So something as simple as walking has really gotten me back in the game, got me back with my group who we used to work out together. And so now we're able to fellowship walking. We challenge each other. And so although we're in the challenge, we have our own internal challenges going, which keeps us going. I mean, it's just what motivates us. To get to telling a little bit about myself, I am a teacher in the College of Pharmacy at FAMU. My area of specialty is medicinal chemistry. However, I am a certified personal trainer and a group fitness trainer. I don't really use that certificate. However, I am, and I did that because I wanted to get the knowledge for myself as far as it comes to training and making sure that I'm doing things the right way and for the right reasons. So that's it for me.
All right, that's great. And Dr. Tracy A. Thomas. Tracy.
Good evening, everyone. I am just like Dr. OK, Dr. Kirksey, and Dr. Artley. This COVID has everyone in a different place, a different norm. And so for me, this has been an opportunity to get back to what used to be my old norm, which was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could go meet my crew to get my first workout in. And so it really has been a joy. It's been an outlet. My body is loving it. More importantly, my mind and my spirit really enjoy it. I am a physical therapist by profession. I have a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences and with emphasis in cardiovascular pharmacology, toxicology. I also have a doctorate degree in physical therapy. I too am a certified physical trainer. I'm also a certified rehabilitation specialist. I'm a certified health coach. I'm currently working on a certification in nutritional physical therapy, as well as a certification in strength and conditioning.
All right, so OB Fit, Mega Age Challenge Group, I'm gonna pop my collar on this team I assembled for today. I think we have it all covered for the areas that we need to cover. I wanna start with something that this week, for the first time, I had a telemed visit, and it was quite surprising because when I actually signed on before the doctor came on, a page came up and asked me for my blood pressure, my pulse, my temperature, my weight, and I wasn't expecting that. I guess I should have known that the doctor there was no way that the doctor could do that through the phone. I mean, it was basically like a Zoom meeting, a telemed is. But when that page came up, you have the option to skip that page. And fortunately for myself, I have a good blood pressure cuff. I have a thermometer. I have a scale, which I hate to death. And my Apple Watch actually can take my pulse. So I was able to put my vitals in, which is very important to making any evaluation. You have to know where you're starting from.
Yeah.
So just talk about some other things that in our current state, some things that are and I'll start with whoever wants to take it first. In this current state, things are different. So how can we better take care of ourselves and better basically do initial evaluations of ourselves? Whoever wants to take that one.
Well, I'll start off, and Juan. First of all, let me say this: is that telehealth is here to stay.
Yeah.
We're learning now. That's what I do all day, every day. I'm working from home now, so I do diabetes management from home, and I'm able to look at the patient's chart and so forth. So some of those patients are actually in the clinic, and so basically, you know, providers that were in a certain risk factor. Had certain risk factors, they moved them out of the clinic to make them safe. And I'm in that, unfortunately, that age group, you know, so that's why I'm doing that. But having said that, let me commend you, because one of the issues that a lot of people don't have a blood pressure cuff. A lot of people don't have a scale. And a lot of people don't have a thermometer. Okay, those are just basic needs. You don't think about a thermometer if somebody gets sick. I just ordered my first infrared thermometer. My grandkids are coming. I'm testing them every day, you know. And so those things should be a part of your just like you have standard thing, a flashlight in your house. They should be a part of your regular supplies. So things that we need to be looking at now, because COVID has changed everything for us. Okay. And so you have patients who now, because they're in certain risk groups, certain age groups, comorbidities, they can't go to the doctor's office. So they have to have a visit like you had, Cedric. So their self-care behaviors have to really be on point. And self-care is your ability to manage your disease, your chronic disease. That means if you're diabetic, checking your blood sugar every day. Okay, doing problem solving. If you're high, if you're low, what's causing it, and so forth. You know, eating the right diet and so forth. All those things come into play. And another big area that this COVID thing is creating, we're going to have a lot of people, man, with some mental health issues. If they have not already had it, if those that have it may be exacerbated, or if those that do not have it, you have some people that end up with PTSD over this, you know, because of just the different traumatic experiences that people are experiencing. And my final thing is that the whole stress level that we're dealing with, you know, staying in the home all day, can't do the things that you want to do, not having that out, not being able to socialize, which is so important to us as humans. You know, that stress raises cortisol. And everybody knows Black people got a whole lot of high blood pressure, diabetes, and that hormone contributes to the worsening or the development of those diseases.
Wow, Doc. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal answer, but man, that is a lot that we need to consider. Like I said, I prided myself on being able to answer the questions, but unfortunately, there's a skip button at the bottom, and if you don't have those, you skip. But what are you skipping?
Right.
If you skip that, what are you skipping?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
something can be detected in you, determining those vitals. Tiffany or Tracy have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree that we do need those home devices, those simple home devices that you can purchase, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. We need to have these things at home and understand what the numbers mean. A lot of people get their blood pressure numbers, but they have no idea what those numbers actually mean. And people of color, I must say, we're always afraid of the numbers, what the numbers mean. And that, a lot of time, we can prevent things from happening, or we can head things off if we know what the numbers mean. You know what it means for your blood pressure to be high, or you just hear the numbers and you go on about your business. So it's important that we do get those home devices. I know we think we don't need them, or we'll just get it when we go to the doctor once a year, but we should be mindful of what all of our numbers are. Dr. Kersey touched on mental health, and I was on a Zoom meeting with a group of friends a couple of nights ago, and I was surprised at the number that were having mental health issues because of being confined. Okay, you have single moms being confined with children all day. That can be stressful. And so we do have to find an outlet. One of them was actually going to a therapist. And I know for us, a lot of times that's taboo. We don't need to see a therapist because we're not crazy. You're crazy not to see a therapist if you need to see a therapist. It's okay. It's okay. Mental health and mental health is real, and we have to be sure that we're mentally healthy, especially in a time like this. So I would just tell people not to be afraid to go to the doctor, not to be afraid to ask questions. Sometimes your doctor says things that may go over your head. It's okay to question and ask them to explain it to you in layman's terms where you can understand it. And a lot of times we just hear what they say and we move on, and that's not always healthy.
Okay, I'm
I have
sorry.
the,
Just want to give a shout out to all the people that we have on Facebook Live. We have about 60 people on Facebook Live, and that's why we did the forum this way. So for everybody on Facebook Live, we see you, and thank you for joining in to this this may be one of the most important things that the OB Fit Mega ACE group does, is get professionals in. We had Dr. Miriam Martin on before. She's from Bowie, Maryland, and she's on the front line of fighting COVID, and we thank her. And we've got 3 more of our wonderful doctors here tonight. And I'm just impressed by them when they don't even know it, just to see. And this is a very diverse group, the OB Fit Mega ACE Challenge group. But it does do my heart good to see this many Black doctors together doing anything. It's just impressive. And it makes a statement. As we continue, Tracy, and I think I want to direct this one to you. There are quite a few, as I'm seeing, quite a few people sustaining small injuries, whether it's from a trip, overexerting themselves, not hydrating enough, or things like that. What is your advice for people to avoid injuries or to treat injuries?
okay. All right. Well, I have the esteemed honor also of being a full-time tenured faculty member for the world's greatest Doctor of Physical Therapy program on planet Earth at FAMU. And so my students and I, we talk about these things all the time. Whenever you're getting ready to work out, be it working out for yourself or talking someone through, as we said, telehealth is here to stay. So our students are actually getting ready to engage this fall by doing telehealth services with faculty and staff on campus. But you always want to start with a proper warm-up, and more importantly, you want to end with the warm-up. You want to do some gentle stretching. The other thing too, when it comes to hydration, there really is no set standard. The CDC does not have a set standard. The American College of Sports Medicine, they don't have a set standard. But what they recommend is that at least 2 hours before you know you're going to do at least 30 to 60 minutes of activity, that you hydrate your body with at least 17 to 23 ounces of water. 17 to 23 ounces of water. It's also beneficial too if you know that you have underlying health conditions to where you might lose certain electrolytes, that you make sure that when you're hydrating, you're replenishing your body with those electrolytes, okay? That is very important. We are in Florida, and I know we have members all over, but at 9 o'clock at night, it's still 90+ degrees here. So granted, the sun is not out, the heat and the humidity, it's still pulling from your body, okay? And so the other thing, you've got to be aware of signs and symptoms that your body is telling you. If your body is saying stop, stop. I also own my own health and wellness company, N equals U, because everybody's body is different. I can't train the way that you train. I can't train the way Dr. Artley trained. I can't train the way Dr. Kurtzy trained. And I see my former trainer on, O'Neill is coming on. I can't train the way O'Neill trained. I have to know the signs and symptoms and the limitations of what Tracy can do, okay? And so once I know those things, take for instance, everyone has a heart rate. Your heart rate is simply your pulse, how fast your heart is beating in a minute. The easy way for you to know your max heart rate is to take your age and subtract it from the number 220, okay? That is the maximal amount of pulse rates you should get when you're working out, okay? Now, that's the max. We never want to go to your full max. You want to work at a 50 to a 70% of that number. So you take that number and you multiply it times 0.5 for your bottom and 0.7 for your top. And that will let you know when you're working out, you gauge your heart rate throughout your workout to say, am I within this range? If you are above that range, you need to slow down because you're overtaxing your heart, okay? And if you're below that range, i.e. you see people walking and they on the phone having full conversations and their heart rate, yeah, they're not challenging their body enough. You want to be within your target heart range when you are working out.
Amazing. Great answer, Dr. Tracy. O'Neill, I see you on here. How you doing, brother? O'Neill, I don't see your audio. Or have you, let me see if I can unmute.
So while you're working on that, Vaughn, I see a question about high intensity workouts. So it depends. First of all, you want to make sure that you're clear to do high intensity workouts, okay? Because if you take your heart to a max level, a high intensity workout could cause you to go into cardiac arrest, and that could lead to sudden death.
Yeah.
So while it is good to push yourself, you still need to push yourself within your limits.
Yeah.
Within your limits, and you've got to be responsible enough to know what those limits are.
Awesome. O'Neill, I think I hear you. O'Neill? Okay, well, maybe.
Vaughn,
Yeah.
I just want to just piggyback on something that Dr. Thomas mentioned in terms of hydrating. Those people who have diabetes, you need to be very careful about what you're hydrating with.
Yes.
Okay, and so you need to watch the sodium and the glucose content. There's some items. People think about Powerade. Powerade is all right. Powerade is 0. But if you have a high blood pressure, then you want to be concerned about the sodium. Pedialyte Adult is an excellent fluid that we recommend for patients, particularly when they're sick and not eating well, staying hydrated. You get Pedialyte Adult from most of the drugstores, whatever. That is excellent. It provides all of the nutrients that you need, and it won't have the glucose content and as well as the sodium as well.
Wow, now that is a great one, because we just automatically, I know me, I drink water, but you just automatically think, it's probably because of advertising. Hey, I could drink a Gatorade or a Powerade and it's always good, but this is great information that may be an alternative. Maybe we could be hurting ourselves sometime by putting that in our bodies.
Mhm.
Right, and we're not saying that those supplements are not good. We're saying you have certain, diseases present, then you need to be conscious about what's in those. Look at the label, and look at the sodium content. Look at the glucose content, and it may tell you, well, this only has 10 grams of glucose or carbohydrates. But if you buy a 32-ounce bottle, you take the whole thing. You got to multiply that 10 times 32, that's 320 grams. So, you have to put everything in perspective.
That is a great question. I saw a question from Mary Imani Rutherford. She says, can we take our blood pressure at a drugstore? Not sure if those machines are still available during COVID.
I doubt I doubt that, because, they would have to keep those things clean. And remember, initially, the data came out about COVID that it actually stayed on services for a period of time. So I doubt if they've made any of those available now.
And I would just say to invest in your health. That's something you can purchase, and then all you have to do is replace the batteries. They're
For
very
less than $25.
Mhm.
Yes, you can get a good one for less than $25. And again, it's an investment in your health.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can get a thermometer for less than 30. This one, take it everywhere I go. It's in my purse like it's my wallet. I also keep a pulse ox so I know if I'm getting in enough air, because I have asthma. So I just can't trust anybody to say, girl, you breathing fine. No, I know what these lungs are supposed to be doing. So, and likewise, I also have my my blood pressure cuff. It's actually in my truck.
Yeah, and I keep my blood pressure cuff. I just, it's my health. So I spent $100 on my blood pressure cuff, but it syncs with my watch. So every reading goes to my watch. So if I'm at a break during the day, I can sit there and look at my readings over time, like, oh, it's steady. Or if I see something abnormal, I'm able to analyze it. And actually, the app will alert me that if something is way abnormal. So, hey, invest in what we're trying to say, especially from my experience with my telemed meeting appointment this week. You need to invest in yourself to be, and all three doctors have said it. You have to be able to analyze yourself and be knowledgeable enough to be the front line. You're the first. You're the first line of defense now. You are, not your doctor, not just you are.
Juan, can I share something?
Hey, Doc, you the reason for this forum. You can say whatever you want to say.
But actually, just changing the subject a little bit. One of the things the reason why I was applauding you and Coach O'Neill about this piece here is that, diabetes impacts Black folks disproportionately. Type 2 diabetes. And we got data now that says that we can prevent type 2 diabetes. Okay, so if you don't have diabetes, you have risk factors, you can actually delay its onset or prevent it altogether. And there was a huge study done by the NIH and the CDC that showed that if you lose 7% of your weight and maintain it, and you sustain a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, you can actually reduce your risk of developing diabetes by 58%. Okay, wow. That's tremendous.
Wow.
And so those who are already walking, you already got half of the formula, because most of us are exceeding the 150 minutes. So in terms of the weight loss, we need to focus on, like right now, what I'm doing every morning, I get on the scale. Because if I don't, it becomes, you forget about it every day. And I already know what my goal is. You take your current weight and multiply it times 0.93, that'll give you your goal 7% weight loss. But this is a lifestyle behavior change. We're not running a sprint. This is a marathon. It's a marathon for life. And so it's a change in the way we do things. And so all of us already, we're halfway there. So the other piece is that we got the constant, that's where the scale comes in, that you're monitoring your weight on a regular basis. You don't have to do it every day, but on a regular basis. And that you know what your goal weight is. And once you get there, then you set a new go using that same formula.
Absolutely. O'Neal, I want you to sign out of everything that you're in, and please click the link on the Zoom link that's on our Facebook, OB Fit Mega Ace, because I gotta bring you in on camera. O'Neal, so I see you signed in on Facebook and on Zoom, but I don't see an audio link for you, so I need you in. Janita Wells said, could you repeat the goal weight loss equation again, please, Doc?
Yes. Take your current weight and multiply it times 0.93. That will give you your goal weight that will represent a 7% weight loss. Okay?
Okay, and that's the old math, not this new math.
It's not common
That's
core.
old math.
Okay, so I have another thing I want to throw out to our doctors that are here. And once again, thank you. For those just joining us, I have Dr. Otis Kirksey, Dr. Tiffany Ardley, and Dr. Tracy A. Thomas. They're participants in our group, and we are here to just try to inform our people. We can't just let you continue to be out walking, running, jogging, or whatever you do and not improving your health. That can happen. You can go out there and do 60 miles a month and not be improving your health at all if you don't continue to add the things to it. It's a part of your overall health goal. And let me tell you, okay, I see O'Neal now. Hopefully we get him in correctly this time. Let me see. O'Neal, are you there? Now, I still got no audio from O'Neal. I don't know
It
where.
looks like he's trying to
It's still
connect.
connecting.
Oh, he's still connecting? Okay. Hopefully we'll get O'Neal in. Let me tell you.
But Vaughn, while I just want to chime in on something you just said. We started with the movement, right? In terms of moving our bodies. So now once we get that down, we need to go to the next thing, which may be modifying what we eat and getting rest. We have to rest. I know I was a person that would stay up a lot, but now I make it my goal to go to bed earlier. I guess because we get up, so my group gets up very early to walk, but we have to rest. We can't stay up all night and then expect to function.
Right.
And the older we get, we don't recover as fast. And the other thing too, to go back when you were asking Dr. Thomas about preventing injuries, listen to your body. For example, this morning when I woke up, my feet were swollen. And Lord knows I wanted to go walking, but I said, that's my body's way of saying I need to recover today. And I realized my problem was I did not drink enough water yesterday, okay? So listen to your body. It's okay if you skip a day because you have to recover. It does your body more good to recover than to try to go out and push yourself further and then cause further damage.
Yeah. And it really is too about lifestyle. The whole thing is about lifestyle. And you have to remember, especially ladies, I'm 51 plus, that's what I call it, 51 plus. So the hormone levels that I had 5 years ago, they're very different today. So the activities and the way my body responded to certain foods and to certain workouts, my body won't respond that way anymore because my body is even different from how it was 5 minutes ago. We're constantly changing. So that's why it's so important that we continue to listen to our bodies. I think he's trying to come in on the phone.
O'Neal, are you in? You hear us? O'Neal. Okay. Okay, well, Tracy, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was almost excited to see my partner finally getting in. We got to get him in somehow. I saw Sandra Harris Thompson has my question. Oh my gosh. My challenge is craving and staying up too late. Doctors, answer that one. Because I have to stay up late to work sometimes. And that's my downfall too, Sandra. You're not by yourself.
So I can tell you what I currently do. My phone has a bedtime reminder. And I started to tell myself, Trey, as you continue to get older, you just can't keep that midnight oil going, or you're gonna look like you from the midnight. So at 9 o'clock, 8:45, my bedtime reminder comes on to let me know, Trey, it's time for you to go head towards the bed. I have a television in my room. I don't turn it on anymore because my intent is that I am asleep between 9:30 and 10. Do I make it every time? No, but that is my intention. Okay. And so I literally shut down and I try to shut everything out. I put away work and I let it go. With the exception, like last night, some things were going on in my neighborhood, so I did not rest well. But there's a big difference between sleep and rest. We go to sleep every night, but we all don't rest.
Yeah.
And so you have to find out what allows your body to rest.
Yeah.
I like background noise, but I also know I hear the Golden Girls all night long in my dreams. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm still with Blanche and the whole crew. I have not had good rest. Okay. So it's a big difference that you not just get sleep, but you allow your body time to rest.
Yeah. Let me talk a little bit about the cravings. One of the things that we have to learn about ourselves, and that what are our triggers? What are the things that trigger us to crave certain things or to eat certain things? Yeah, but you're driving down the parkway or somewhere. You think about eating. You see a sign. That big Whopper looking good. You start thinking about what I'm going to eat. And things like that. So you have to look at what are your triggers. One of the things I learned is that I don't bring it to the house.
Right.
If it's not in the house, then even if I have the cravings, I don't have access to it. And so that is one of the things that I'm teaching myself. And it's a lifelong journey to teach myself that when I do crave, it's for something that is not going to set me back. I don't walk 4 miles this morning, and pretty good day, and I'm gonna come and set it back by eating some Oreos. And so think about the cravings, think about the value that you're going to experience by not subjecting yourself to those cravings, and think about the benefit and the outcomes that are going to occur by being disciplined and avoiding those cravings.
Mm-hmm.
That you just said a big word there, the D word, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And my point is this: how can you be disciplined enough to go run 100 miles in a month and can't take that discipline over to the table in your diet? So we've got to continue to work hard. Dr. Kirksey, LaVesta Peggy Jackson Crew asks, what is the name of the drink you mentioned, low in sodium and sugar?
Pedialyte.
Pedialyte adult, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Also, another thing that is very important again, how do people, Tracy, and I'm going to direct this one to you, and thank you to all 71 people that are watching on Facebook Live as well. Thank you all for joining us, and continue to chat with your questions, and we'll continue to get them answered. Tracy, like I said, I've seen some people with some injuries. What would be your suggestion if someone sustains an injury?
Okay, so it's going to depend on what the injury is. And let me just give you an example. Several people have talked about the bottom of their foot kind of feeling tight, that plantar fasciitis, and some people have had heel spurs. So that is an onset from the arches that were once in your foot. You're literally contracting, so it's tight. One way to help relieve that, if you take a bottle of water and you freeze it, and after your walk, you roll your foot on that, that ice for about 10 to 15 minutes will help provide you some relaxation for that. What you're also experiencing is inflammation. So the ice is going to help to calm that down as well. I also saw where I myself, shin splints. Shin splints happen when the bone on the lower part of your leg, it starts to pull at the muscle right beside it in the front. And so those little micro tears in the muscle, they too cause inflammation. And so after running, after walking with my crew, I would always elevate and ice. And when I do ice applications, we're talking about 15, no more than 20 minutes. Okay. Okay. Now, for those of you that got some knee injuries, because I think our knees are usually the first thing that most people complain about. Well, knee injuries are not just knee injuries. It's always going to involve part of your hip being dysfunctional as well as your ankle. So what you want to start doing when you start feeling the onset of some knee issues, start incorporating just some gentle exercises to increase the strength of your hip as well as your ankle. Whenever you do any activity though, if you feel that area, that joint, those muscles being warm and hot, don't put a heating pad on them. Don't do that. That heat is going to just cause more fluid to come. That increased fluid is just going to make it tighter and it's going to be more painful. You want to ice, you want to elevate, you want to protect, and you want to rest. For many of us, we don't want to miss any days, especially that leaderboard. That leaderboard will make you get up in the middle of the night, okay? So you don't want to rest. But sometimes your body, you've got to listen to your body, and your body says, I need this break. Give me a second.
I got a question from Angela Green. She says, hello, Fit Fam.
Hey, Angie.
I'm in my 60s and have a challenge in allowing my body to rest. If I don't work out though, I feel guilty. Does anyone else feel this way? How do you balance those two, Tiffany?
Yeah, and I know Miss Ange goes hard in the paint when it comes to working out. And if you knew her story, you would understand what she's going through. She has come a long way. She's lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of muscle. She's one of the strongest 60-year-old women that I know, if you've ever been in Kel's strength training class. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay to rest your body. Your body needs the rest. And think of it as allowing your body to recover. You have to allow your body time to recover. So it's okay, Miss Ange, to miss, you know, and schedule when you're going to take a rest day, or schedule when you're going to, you know, take a break. It's okay. I know you do a lot of cycling, and I know you do a lot of strength training. So you have to figure out which day you're gonna allow your body to rest. I understand the guilt feeling, but it's okay. Think of it as helping your body to recover.
Okay, Deborah Dickey Thompson says, what about arthritis in the knees?
So arthritis, I'm not going to ask you, Deborah Dickey Thomas? I'm not going to, I'm just going to go, I'm going to go ahead and claim her. Thomas or Thompson?
It says Thompson.
Okay,
Deborah,
I was going to say, we probably cousins, but I'll take it anyway. Believe it or not, arthritis starts in our 20s. And if you were an athlete before then, that's when it really started. We're just now getting to the age of when you're starting to feel it. The unfortunate thing though is we can't reverse arthritis, because arthritis is basically when we start to have deposits on or within our joints, and the bones themselves start to lose their cartilage and rub towards each other. Now, for your knees, if you have any excessive weight, it is very beneficial to try to lighten the load on your knees, and that will decrease the force. When we actually walk, we're not just moving, in my case, 100 pounds. I'm really, with every step, the impact according to physics, I'm really hitting like 18% more of my body weight whenever my foot hits. And so when my foot hits, that shock goes up to my knees and my hips. So it's beneficial if I can decrease, or if any of us can get to a more healthier weight, then that will help with your arthritis. If you have arthritic flares and it's not against your medical condition, you can also get some relief with some mild, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory medications like Aleve. But again, you don't want to have to take medications for everything all the time.
Right. I'm going off subject here. Tiff, Tiffany is my sister. If, in case you all don't know, Tiffany.
No, we didn't know that.
Is my sister.
We didn't know that, Von.
All of these people in the group don't know that that's my sister. So I got to go back to something, Tiffany. I was there when she defended.
Oh,
Tell them what the title of your thing was.
I don't remember.
I never felt so dumb, but I didn't even know that. Go ahead.
It was the
Uh-oh.
Come on, Tiff.
it was the potential. It was. Give me a minute. 3-ethyl 1,2,3,6-dihydropyridines as potential non-steroidal anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer agents.
So y'all have to know I was in there like I was crazy because I didn't know what my sister said the whole time. I was there. That's my sister, but I didn't know what she was saying. And I want to another thing about Dr. Kirksey, just to put on his resume, besides that Kappa shirt he has on. Years ago, when we had a threat from, oh my goodness, what was that? What was the white powder? What was the white powder they were killing people with, sending in the mail?
Anthrax?
Anthrax.
When they had the anthrax, that's when I really, everybody turned to Dr. Kirksey as an expert in, it was a big article written about him.
Drug information, not toxicology.
Yeah.
Yeah, drug information. I had access to the information, but you mean you talk in terms of the toxicology components? No, that's in my lane. Them two over there, they deal with that stuff right there. But yeah, I was director of drug information at the time, and that's what it was all about. Man, Vaughn, that's a long time ago.
But hey, I remember I was working at the Capital Outlook, and my dad and I were like, you know, if we ever get some anthrax, we're gonna have to call. We got to call Doc. Something will happen. Our only chance is Doc. So with Dr. Tracy, Dr. Tiff, and Dr. Otis, we've got 3 people in our group, 3 of many. We have several doctors and just some absolutely great people in our group that O'Neill's not on, and I wish I could get him on, because we really wanted to thank you all. You all made this group, not us. I mean, we just put a challenge up there in the Nike group and created a Facebook group. You all are the group. We're just the administrators and keep you all going. And I mean, look how marvelous this is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is. And then when you all post your testimonies, and we just want you to keep trying. And tonight is about keep trying and try to round things out. Continue to get your miles in. In some ways, getting your miles in is the easy part. The hard part is rounding it out with enough rest, and enough proper nutrition and enough proper hydration. So in many ways, let me tell you, I feel free like a bird when I get out there walking. Man, I just go. The other day, that walk I took from Cascades around Doak Campbell Stadium, it was so peaceful, and it lets my mind free. And I know that's healthy from my body, from the stress that we have.
Stress.
Yeah, and so
I can say that since I've been walking, I sleep so much better at night. And you would think that when Corona first hit and we had to just like stay inside, you would think that would have gotten more rest then. But adding that walk, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah, it changes my whole day. I mean, after the walk, I come home, take a shower, and it just changed. You just feel so rejuvenated, you know. And but I can tell going back to you mentioned about going. Tracy mentioned going to bed on time.
Mhm.
You know, now I'm in. I'm on those night owls too, man. But I'm telling you, I don't stay up past 11 o'clock a whole lot. Cause I got to get up and get out there, you know, and I try to get there even earlier now, man, because we're talking about how hard it is at the end of the day.
Mhm.
You know, if you don't get out there between 6 and 6:15, the last 45 minutes, they're gonna be drooling. I mean, it's
Yeah.
critical, you know. So,
It really
so I
is.
want to be able to get up. I feel so much better when I don't hang out and or stay up really, really late. And so it just changes your whole day.
One other thing I want to say, another thing I want to say, as well as for those of us that are working from home, we have to cut off work. Even though we're home, we have to cut off work or it will never end. And I think some people think because you're home that you just working 24/7.
No.
And so sometimes I'll get text messages from work and if it's not important, I'll ignore it and then I'll answer it the next day. Or I'll get emails late at night. I don't answer it. I'll wait until the work hours until I respond because you have to cut it
You
off
gotta shut yourself
at
down.
some time or it will never end. So
Yeah.
for those of you all working at home, you probably can relate to what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You have to figure out when your cutoff time is.
Yeah. And I just want to add something to that is that, yeah, you know, now that with the COVID thing, and I want to make sure I get this in, people have been laid off, um, uh, revenues or income has been decreased and so forth, and they're challenged with how to get my medications and so forth. And so for anyone who's lost their insurance during this time, and you're struggling to pay for your medications, then you need to seek out Bond or Neighborhood Medical Center because they are designed for people who are uninsured and you can get those medications at a significantly reduced cost. So I just want to throw it out there as well.
That is a great point, Dr. Kirksey, and not only for medical attention, but there are several food banks that have popped up, and they're there just for exactly what's going on. And I might have to add that if you're a small business like I am, a proprietorship, I was fortunate enough to get a grant from the Leon County and just apply for another one because my point is this, as we're talking about rounding out people, not only, you know, with your physical and your mental, let me do a little business rounding out. Don't think that your business is too small and those loans are for somebody else and those grants.
Yes.
All right, I got a grant. I don't have to pay it back. So you got to be smart and know that people are trying to assist as many people as they can in a lot of circles. Go and get your money. Don't sit and concede that that's for somebody else. I kind of had that attitude, but you know, I was encouraged to go ahead, and let me tell you, that's a big sign of relief. And also the next stressor that's going to be the stressor on all of us with children is what are we going to do about reopening schools? That's going to be a big stressor to us all. That's the next big one, but I also see that's going to be the next battle. So we've just got to prepare ourselves mentally to be ready to deal with what's coming in front of us.
Yeah, sure.
And I wanted to say about that is with that, we have to make the decision that's best for us and our families and our children. I know some people are asking, and it's okay to ask another person what they're doing and this and the other, but what happens for that person may not be suitable for you or feasible for you. And so you have to do what's best for you and your household when it comes down to making that decision. It is a huge decision to have to make. And so people are in different situations. Some will be working from home, some will not be working from home and have no choice but to send their kids. And I know it's a stressful decision that we all have to make, but think it through and think through the scenarios and do what's best for you and your children.
I got a question from Deborah Dickey Thompson. She said, if you're properly hydrating while walking, but get lightheaded, could it be the heat?
Yes, it could be the heat. It could be the heat, but it could be other things as well.
Right. You got to think about what are the disease states? What are the underlying comorbidities? High blood pressure, diabetes, could be hypoglycemia if you're diabetic. Because exercise actually is a potent facilitator of low blood sugar. So lightheadedness and so forth. So that could be a lot of different things. You should stop.
And don't ignore that. Don't ignore that.
You should stop, right.
Miss Dickey Thompson. I'm gonna make you Tracy cousin.
Yes.
Thompson, don't ignore those signs though. Don't just say, well, I got to get these miles in a day and I'll deal with it later. No, if you're feeling dizzy, you probably need to stop.
Hey, Vaughn, before we close, I want to add, for those people who have diabetes and are on medications such as insulin or sulfonylureas like, glimepiride and glimepiride, whatever, before you get out and start working out, you need to check your blood sugar. You need to make sure if you're on the low side, if you're around 100, 110, 120, you need to have you a nice snack before you get out there and start walking, because exercise has a profound impact on lowering the blood sugar. It actually sensitizes the cells to facilitate the shift of glucose into the cells, and you become hypoglycemic, real quick. And that effect lasts about 4 or 5 hours after you stop exercising. I mean, people walking 7 miles, 5, 7 miles, that's, about an hour and a half worth of activity, intense. So make sure that you monitor before you go and then make the necessary preparations before you get out there.
Awesome. Well, for those that don't know, I am at church and I will be conducting the recording of our church really soon. We thought we were going to stay an hour, and let me tell you, every minute of it was worth it. I want to end by giving each one of our doctors the time to give a closing statement.
I'll start, if we're going to go in alphabetical order this time. My husband teases me and said, I took you from the bottom to the top because I went from Wilson to Ardley. But anyway, I just want to encourage everyone to just keep doing what you're doing. If you stop, restart. It's just, walking is the simplest exercise you can do. So just keep at it. Don't give up. We all have our times where we get frustrated or we fall off the wagon. You just get back on the wagon, keep it going. But in addition to walking, start incorporating a healthy eating diet. And when we say diet, we don't mean diet as in terms of restriction in that sense, because anything you eat is your diet, whether it's a vegetarian diet, whether it's a keto diet, whether it's a vegan diet. Diet means whatever you eat on a habitual basis. So start thinking more healthy, start thinking more healthy choices. And let's do this, y'all. Let's just continue to do this. I'm so inspired and encouraged by this movement, and I feel that we can just get better. I can only imagine what this group is going to look like next month because we keep multiplying. So that's it, and thank you for this opportunity.
Tracy?
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Everyone, thank you so much. Brother Vaughn, Brother O'Neill, thank you both for having this platform for us to come together. I think the most important thing I want everyone in, which is what we say in research, the in this case, in this project, is you. You are your own competition.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
Do what is best for you so that you can be the absolute best you that you can be, because nobody else can be you, and you're just that important. So invest the time and invest in getting the resources that you need so that you can be your absolute best.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let me just thank Vaughn and Coach O'Neill for just putting this event together, and thank my co-panelists on here. You know, 2 months ago, if I asked me, hey, can you walk to 4 miles, 5 miles, I would have told me, hell no. Hey, look, man, never doubt yourself, okay? And so this has taught me really a lot about myself and what I can do. I know my limitations, but this has really taught me that there's things I can do that I didn't think I could do. I'm going to say that for those who are out there, take care of yourself. You know, value your health. We talked about a lot of different things out here today. Monitor, you know, checking your blood pressure, checking your pulse, and so forth. Monitor and so forth. Use the resources that you have available, and don't be afraid to ask people. You know, reach out, ask for help. If you need help, let somebody know. I mean, we have a plethora of individuals in this group, not just the 3 of us, but throughout the group. And we got over 3,000 people in this group. And so this is the village. And so let's empower ourselves with the internal resources that exist here. And we can do that. The other thing is that I'm going to be doing a series of sessions on seminars on diabetes prevention strategies that you can do related to nutrition and so forth, as well as diabetes management. So be on the lookout for that. I already talked with Vaughn about this, and I'll be sending out the link for those who are interested to respond, and then we will go from there. But again, thanks to everybody for coming and doing this. It was really a great experience, and thanks to the planners as well.
All right, I know I said we were going to end there, but I got one more question that I can't ignore here. It comes from Lorena Mickey Cornelius, and she says, I'm a breast cancer survivor, but I have joint pain in my feet. What should I do prior to walking so they won't hurt so bad?
So one of the things that you can do would be to do self-massage. And what you want to do is if you can bring your foot up to your lap, use your thumbs to smooth out the arches of your foot, okay? Because that's going to help warm up that fasciita so that you can get ready to do your walking. And then likewise, as I said before, when you finish your workout and you do that cool down, you want to self-massage. As a breast cancer survivor, you know the importance of how the lymphatic system works. So what you want to do in your self-massaging is you want to milk your legs, your feet, going up to your ankles, going up to your legs, bring it back to the center of your body, okay? And that should give you that should give you some relief.
Well, that is awesome. And everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to thank, in alphabetical order, Dr. Tiffany Wilson Artley, Dr. Otis Kirksey, and Dr. Tracy A. Thomas. Thank you all. Everybody continue to be safe, get your miles, get your nutrition, and most importantly, if we didn't learn anything else today, get your rest.
Get your rest.
And we'll be seeing you all out there walking and continue to post. And we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Bye.